This actor was supposedly set to be a big part of the DCU had it continued. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. A recent interview confirmed the actor who would have played Batman in Zack Snyder's Flashpoint film, and it is the perfect choice. The Flashpoint movie was just one of many DC comic stories Snyder wanted to tackle with his DCU but never got the chance to, with the superpowered universe being rebooted on the backs of James Gunn and Peter Safran. Years after the end of Zack Snyder's DCU, the Man of Steel director's ever-so-perfect pick for a Flashpoint Batman actor was finally confirmed. From 2013 to 2017, Snyder shepherded DC Comics' on-screen brand. The filmmaker never realized the full extent of his DC vision, being taken off 2017's Justice League and, thus, out of the franchise entirely. That has not stopped the filmmaker from sharing his extensive plans for the future of the Blue brand, including tackling the iconic Flashpoint DC comic story. He then revealed that there were initial plans for him to play a Flashpoint version of Batman in the DCU, but those ideas never came to fruition. There was a time when Flashpoint Batman would have seen these two characters in a much bigger role, Morgan explained. So I don't think... The idea was, truthfully, that Zack was going to do more movies, and that I think that there was a time when Flashpoint Batman would have seen these two characters in a much bigger role. We never got a chance to do that, unfortunately. But it was the first time that Lauren and I met. I remember meeting her for the first time, and she had just started The Walking Dead, and I was a huge fan. Speaking with Den of Geek, Walking Dead star Jeffrey Dean Morgan disclosed that he was in talks to play Zack Snyder's Flashpoint Batman before the DCU was rebooted. Talking about the first time he and his Walking Dead co-star Lauren Cohen met, Morgan described getting to play Thomas and Martha Wayne together in Snyder's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Question: I'm sure this has been brought up in the past, but I don't think I ever looked it up myself. Was it Zack Snyder's purpose to kind of play a joke on people by having you both play Thomas and Martha Wayne, or was it like your suggestion or something like that at that point? Morgan: that was the first time we'd ever met or worked together, so this is well before. Cohen: oh my gosh, I just forgot that. Just literally forgot that. This is not the first time Morgan commented on the idea of playing an alternate universe Batman, telling fans in 2022 that Michael Keaton's casting in The Flash was the longtime Batman actor swooping in and taking his gig. He joked that it was serendipitous that the Man of Steel filmmaker brought him and Cohen together before they shared the stage in The Walking Dead. So I remember peppering her with a lot of questions about The Walking Dead. But no, I think Zack, luckily, just put us together. I don't know why or how, other than maybe thinking into the future what could happen. I think you'd have to ask Scott M. Gimple, 'cause maybe more of the joke is him casting us opposite each other. Zack Snyder's Flashpoint may have been stopped in its tracks before fans ever got to see it, but that does not mean the project was a completely known quantity. Zack Snyder's Flashpoint film never saw the light of day. However, some assumed elements from the project made their way into 2023's The Flash film starring Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton. Instead of any further stories in Snyder's vision of the interconnected comic book universe, the DCU will be rebooted this summer with the release of James Gunn's long-awaited Superman movie. Despite the movie seemingly being divorced from alternate universes, unlike many current superhero affairs, Superman borrows a multiversal villain for one of the film's main antagonists. The movie would have likely served as a culmination of the first era of Snyder-led DC storytelling, being one of the Blue brand's biggest multiversal stories and essentially creating the DC multiverse and changing the continuity for Eve. Jeffrey Dean Morgan previously said appearing in the Flashpoint movie would have been very fun, but with the DCU reboot incoming, fans will now never get the chance to see it. Also, at this point, the Flash movie would have reportedly served as a key building block toward the event film, and it would have ended by reboot the universe and introduce a new cast. This could have seen characters like the OG Snyder DCU Trinity swapped out for other actors, with someone like Morgan stepping into the superpowered role for any future appearances in the franchise. Since James Gunn previously confirmed that Zack Snyder has not expressed any interest in returning to DC or revisiting his Snyderverse, any future for a Flashpoint project is practically nil. The rumors were that the Flashpoint film would have featured Reverse Flash as its primary villain, seeing H. The full schedule for Zack Snyder's Justice League Festival was revealed. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. After having moved on from his time shepherding the DCU, Snyder is set to celebrate everything from his work within the franchise in a new fan event that has been dubbed Full Circle. This event will see all 3 Snyder-directed DC films screened for fans with live Q&As, exclusive merch, and more. The DC director received Warner Bros.' blessing to have the event, with a whole weekend being dedicated to the America Foundation for Suicide Prevention, AFSP, after losing his daughter Autumn Snyder to suicide during the production of Justice League. The full schedule for Zack Snyder's Full Circle Justice League event was revealed mere days before its official kickoff. Kicking off the Full Circle festivities will be a screening and live panel focused on Zack Snyder's DCU debut Man of Steel. Fans will get to ask questions and learn more about how Henry Cavill's first adventure as Superman came to be. With Man of Steel villain General Zod, played by Michael Shannon, set to return to the role for the first time since 2013 in this summer's The Flash, the DC star has been teased to make an appearance at this live Q&A. The official schedule for the upcoming Zack Snyder Full Circle fan event is here, showing when audiences around the world can tune into the live-streamed Q&A panels associated with each screening of Snyder's DC trilogy. These live panels will be discussions on each of the 3 films being shown with Snyder alongside what has only been teased as guests. The following is the list of Full Circle panels fans can watch online. These times may vary slightly due to post-movie setup. According to the Full Circle website, after not having originally played in theaters, Full Circle will mark one of the first times fans can take in all 242 minutes of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This live panel will offer glimpses into what went into Snyder getting to realize his Justice League vision and how the director closed out his DC tenure back in 2021. Every live stream can be viewed on the official Full Circle fan event website. Coming back to the big screen as a part of this event is the superpowered heavyweight match Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. The Q&A could see any number of big names pop up to talk about the DC epic, with Dawn of Justice sporting A-list talents like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Gal Gadot. Getting to see how everything was put together and the inner workings of Snyder's mind could be greatly illuminating, especially now that some time has passed since he left the Blue brand. The most interesting part of this is these mystery guests that have been teased. The only name currently being rumored is Michael Shannon to come out and talk about his time on Man of Steel as the villainous Zod. But who else could be making an appearance? That first Man of Steel panel will be the one to watch, just to see what level of star power support Zack Snyder has gotten for Full Circle. While it will be exciting for fans to get together and watch through Zack Snyder's DC trilogy, these live discussions focused on each film will likely be the highlight of the weekend. Zack Snyder's Full Circle event runs from Friday, April 28th to Sunday, April 30th in Los Angeles, California. Getting to see how everything was put together and the inner workings of Snyder's mind could be greatly illuminating, especially now that some time has passed since he left the Blue brand. The most interesting part of this is these mystery guests that have been teased. The only name currently being rumored is Michael Shannon to come out and talk about his time on Man of Steel as the villainous Zod. But who else could be making an appearance? That first Man of Steel panel will be the one to watch, just to see what level of star power support Zack Snyder has gotten for Full